All right, guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, and we are back talking about transfer news, transfer speculation regarding Manchester United. But I'm not here alone. I'm joined by Daryl Johnson, aka Dazza's Football Stand. Dazza, mate, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. How are you doing? Oh, Daz, we can't hear your mic. I can't hear your mic. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if anyone else, if anyone can hear Daz's mic, please do let me know. I can't hear it, unfortunately. I'm not sure what's happened, but I can't hear it. Uh, yeah, I can't hear anything, unfortunately. I can't hear your mic. I don't know. It was working before. To be fair, it was working before. I don't know what's happened. Um, Red Devil Talk. Well, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it, mate. Make sure you check out his channel. Really do appreciate it. And also make sure you check out Daz's channel as well in the link in the description down below if you haven't already. Really good stuff on there. I think the newest video is a mask vlog as well. So yeah, if you like that sort of thing, make sure you do check that out. And today we're going to be talking about transfers. Really, it's going to be similar to the last show we did with Transfer Tom. So yeah, expect the sort of same thing. But today we're going to be talking about two players in particular, Reguilon and Thiago Alcantara, currently at Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, respectively. But we're going to get to the bottom of this. Is there any truth in any of these rumors? The first story I'm going to start on is the Thiago rumors, actually, even though Reguilon is first in the thumbnail and in the title, sorry. I'm going to start with Thiago. I'm going to start with Thiago's story. Now, obviously, for a lot of people that have been following this on social media, they will think that Liverpool is the main target for Thiago. Liverpool's the main destination for Thiago. And for me, I think potentially it still is. I think it's very difficult to say that United are now the favourites, but with the recent developments, it's very difficult to say that anyone is the favourites in this deal. I think it's very much 50-50. But recent reports are suggesting that Man United are in the hunt for Thiago, and it seems like it's going to be a straight shootout between us and Liverpool to see who gets Thiago. Now, the money isn't the issue. I think the money is about 30 million euros, somewhere around there. So the money to bring Thiago to Old Trafford would not be the issue. It's only whether Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to blink first or whether Jurgen Klopp is going to blink first and try and go for it. So I think it's going to be basically who wants him more. You could argue Liverpool is obviously the better place for him to go. Obviously, Liverpool are winning loads of titles, but as for United, we do seem to have a decent project going on right now. Van der Beek has joined us as well. We've got a good, kind of squad of young players, experienced pros as well. We seem to be building towards something. However, you could argue that right now the best chance he's got of winning trophies is with Liverpool, and I don't like saying that, trust me. But Darryl will try again. Hopefully the mic's all working and stuff. As someone who's watched Bayern Munich quite a lot, and is a self-professed Bayern Munich fan as well. Tell us a little bit about Thiago, and also, do you think that he is the right fit for Manchester United if we were to go in for him?
You can hear him first of all.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear me? Right.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. No worries.
Finally, I don't know what's going on. Thiago is known as Bayern's defensive playmaker. So he's one of those players who can create the play, can create chances, and at the same time he can help the defence. And he's the sort of player that I think that United could do with, because he's a talented man. Okay, he's aging on a bit. Obviously, I think he's nearly in his 30s. I might be wrong. I don't actually know his exact age. Probably something like 27, 28, maybe like that. But no, he's been with Bayern for a good few years, and has got a lot of experience, especially in the Champions League. I wouldn't say so in the Europa League, obviously, but we don't have to worry about that now, do we? Because, but I think with regard to Thiago, good in the Champions League. Not sure how he'll do in the Premier League if he does go to either Liverpool or United, because obviously it's a completely different ball game. And there's obviously you got teams that are the teams that are coming up, like Leeds and stuff, they're strengthening their squads. They've just signed a player who only scored 4 league goals all season, in Rodrigo. So there's some really talented players in this Premier League season. Can he cope against the new Chelsea squad? I'd say yes, obviously, because obviously Havertz and Timo Werner, etc., did play in the Bundesliga. Werner obviously played for Leipzig. He managed to deal with him, and obviously Bayern never lost against him. And obviously Havertz, Leverkusen didn't beat Bayern either, I don't think. So he's capable of denying those two. Ziyech, not sure about, because Bayern haven't played Ajax for ages. But I can certainly see him fitting in the United team. It would just, and I've said this before many times, the main question is, will he actually suit Ollie's style of play? Because it really depends on formation-wise, because Hansi Flick tends to play the 4-3-3 formation. And obviously, I think most recently he's played 4-2-3-1 with Goretzka and Thiago as the holding midfielders, which is sort of interesting, obviously, Muller being the central attacking mid. So I think it may be down to the formations. If he goes for the 4-3-3 and the 4-2-3-1 lot, which I know Ollie does do, then I can see him fitting in. It might take him a while to settle in, though, because obviously new league, different backgrounds, different country. And obviously, I think every country learns it. I think you learn English in every single country nowadays. But his English probably won't be particularly good. I wouldn't be surprised if he does join United and he's still speaking in German. But, he is a player that you can depend on. And, I mean, it'd be good. Be a good signing for United if he does get there. But how much are we looking? That's the thing. Because with a player like his calibre, Bayern will want quite a bit. They won't let him go for cheap.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I mean, especially someone like Thiago, who was so instrumental in their in the Bayern Munich Champions League success this season. Very, very impressive player. And to be fair, I mean, you say Bayern Munich aren't going to give him away on the cheap. I think the quoted price is around the 30 million euro mark, somewhere around there. It might go up a bit, but I actually think that the price isn't too bad really for someone of Thiago's quality, who's in his prime right now. I think he's about 29, so he's in his kind of footballing prime. And I think if he wants a new challenge, I think Manchester United does provide a very good new challenge for him. We've got a very good future ahead of us, I believe. I think that with what Ollie's building, I think there's a good system for him to come into, and he'll improve us. He'll 100% improve us. And even if either one of him or Van der Beek was to be a bit of an understudy, it gives the likes of Pogba and Fernandes and other midfield players a hell of a lot of quality competition as well, which will hopefully make their performances better, because they know that if they don't perform one week, you've got Thiago breathing down your neck. So even if Thiago doesn't come to Manchester United and start straight away, I think he'll still provide us with a very, very decent option. But for me, I think that Thiago is the sort of player that's, and the difference with Van der Beek is the fact that Van der Beek's 23 and Thiago is like 29. So Thiago wants to be playing regular first team football all the time, because his career hasn't got long left realistically. Whereas Van der Beek is probably a bit happier, playing a few less games and being a bit more rotational. So I think if Thiago was to come in, I can't see him, wanting to sit on the bench for a decent proportion of games this season. So if we were to bring in Thiago, I think that would mean that Van der Beek would probably be the one that's more rotational. But let us know what your thoughts on it, guys, as well in the live chat. Man like Mo, how you doing, mate? Thanks for joining. He says, please let's sign him. Shaw is injury prone. 5 years. His unhealthy obsession with being injured. We'll get on to Sergi Reguilon in just a second. And Brother Gaming, thanks for joining. He says, I reckon we could get Lewandowski for 50 million and Neuer for 30. You are in dreamland, mate. You're in dreamland, I tell you.
You'd be lucky.
Yeah, Neuer's not going anywhere, mate. I can say that for certain. Neuer's definitely, and neither is Lewandowski. I mean, especially when they're starting to win Champions Leagues now. I don't see him leaving. He was robbed of the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. Absolutely robbed. Absolutely, I can't believe he didn't get it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was exactly the same, to be honest. But I obviously, I think obviously with what's been going on recently, obviously the pandemic and stuff, and they've had to postpone the leagues and then restart them. I mean, I can probably understand it because they haven't been able to play the full season properly. But no, I mean, I don't think I couldn't name any other player who scored 55 goals in one season. Obviously, apart from Ronaldo, who was on 57. But apart from that, I couldn't name anyone else who's got 55 goals in one season in the past couple of years, to be honest. Incredible talent. But he's one of those clinical players, and if you think you're going to get him for 50 million, you'll be lucky to get him for 90 nowadays because he's a Champions League winner. No,
I think you'd be lucky to get him for under 150 million. I really do. I don't see him going for anything under than that.
I'll tell you something about Neuer is I haven't heard anything about Neuer recently. With obviously Williams and stuff. As far as I know, he's certainly staying at Bayern. And if I'm being honest, I can see him finishing his career at Bayern. If not, then I could see him moving back probably to Schalke. But apart from that, he'll probably finish his career in Germany. I can't see him moving.
Yeah, neither can I, to be honest. I don't see why as well. If he was going to move, I don't see why he'd want to move to a club like United, to be honest. But hey, the goalkeeper situation's a whole different story, really. But yeah, Thiago, let us know what your thoughts in the comments as well in the live chat. If you would go for Thiago Alcantara, or do you think that the whole story around it is just a smokescreen for Liverpool just to come in and get him all along? Is it, rumours are being released by Bayern Munich to get Liverpool to pay up what they want? Is it that? Who knows? Who knows? We've been used like that in the transfer market for seasons now, so I would not be surprised if that was the case. Man like Mo says, if we get Sancho, Sergio Reguilon, and a centre-back, we will challenge for the league. I think, 3 more decent signings coming in. I think, we could look at least closing that gap between Liverpool and Manchester City, which is obviously the main sign of progress if there is going to be. That's what I think I'm looking at. I think a lot of United fans are looking at that gap between Liverpool and Man City as how we're going to see whether this team is regressing and whether we're getting better or whether we're just standing still or even going backwards. Who knows? Hopefully with the signings we make, we won't be doing that. But we're going to get on to Reguilon now. I think obviously man like Mo has brought us with a little segue there into Sergio Reguilon. He's on loan. He's at Real Madrid. His parent club is Real Madrid. Last season, he spent on loan at Sevilla and impressed in their 2-1 victory over us in the Europa League. And a lot of people are saying that we should go for him. We should go for Reguilon. And the reports are suggesting that Reguilon has been offered to Manchester United by Real Madrid. Now, this would suggest that if we wanted to get the deal done, the deal would be done very, very quickly, because if the club are offering them to us and not the other way around, then usually we can get the deal done very, very quickly. Now, obviously, we've seen Mo there saying that we need to sign him because Shaw is injury prone. Some people I've seen saying that Luke Shaw's actually a very, very good player and there's no need to bring in anyone in that position because obviously we have Brandon Williams as backup. Personally, I wouldn't agree with that. I think even though Brandon Williams is decent for his age, I still think there's a bit of development to do there. And I think bringing in even a quality understudy to Luke Shaw would just be an ideal signing for us in terms of squad depth, because you need that when you're challenging for a title. Luke Shaw, as Mo pointed out, is someone who does get injured pretty well every season, always has a 3-month injury at some point in the season. And if you're going for a title, you can't have first-team players that are constantly on the treatment table. And unfortunately, even though Luke Shaw, for me, is one of our better defenders, you can't spend that long on the treatment table. You cannot spend that long. So for me, someone like bringing Reguilon in will also bring a bit of competition in that spot as well, and hopefully won't stunt the growth of Brandon Williams. So I'm not sure about the price. I think the price probably would be similar, actually, to what is quoted for Thiago. So I don't think it would cost us too much as Real Madrid, are looking to sell Reguilon. Daryl, I'm not sure how much of Reguilon you've seen, but do you think this is a deal that Manchester United should look at?
Definitely, he's a very good fullback. Obviously, on the point that you mentioned, obviously with Luke Shaw, I agree with the fact that he's a quality player, But, and I agree with what the other people have said, that he is injury prone. He is injury prone, and he's also a good player. And if it was me, yeah, I'd keep him, to be honest. I know people will probably disagree with that, but I'd keep him because I think he's more experienced and is better than Brandon Williams. Now, I'm not trying to criticize Brandon Williams because he is obviously a young player. He just doesn't seem to be at the races after time. He doesn't seem to be amazing at times. But I think the problem with that is because he's not left-footed and he's playing at left back.
Yeah.
And that doesn't particularly help when you're trying to stop crosses with your left foot. So, I think Ollie is really to blame for that. If it was me, I'd play him at a right back, see what he's like at right back. But Reguilón, I can't pronounce his name. Where'd you get it? Yeah. Reguilón, however you pronounce it, is a quality player. Obviously won the Europa League with Sevilla this season. And yeah, as you said, he impressed a lot of people. And I was quite impressed because he's one of those, he's one of those attacking fullbacks, really, isn't he? He likes to get forward and try and create chances. And that's the sort of player that United need. I think something else is what I'd like to see from United, obviously keeping the 4-3-3 formation going, is the likes of, whoever's at right back, Wan-Bissaka and Reguilón, for example, both overlapping, takes the player out of the game and then it gives us a bit more of a chance, really, to have a shot at goal. So that's what I'd like to see. We don't often see it, though, because I don't think Wan-Bissaka and Brandon Williams really ever overlap. Wan-Bissaka probably maybe the only one who ever does, but Brandon Williams never does. So, you want to see these attacking, overlapping fullbacks. And obviously, if people agree, then fair enough. But if you don't disagree, fair enough. Your opinion counts as well. But that's my opinion. I would definitely sign Reguilón because he'd be a perfect player to put into the team. Same again with the Thiago one. Different country, different background. It'll take him quite some time to actually settle in. But there's some players who come from different leagues who just settle in straight away. So, I'm saying that, but it could be a totally different story. But I'll definitely have him. Definitely have him.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad shout. I think it's not a bad shout to bring Reguilón in. I think I do see the point that Mo is making in there about Luke Shaw being injury prone. I think I was someone who really did believe in Luke Shaw, and I still do to a certain extent, but you can't ignore his injury record. It's so bad. It's so bad, his injury record. And obviously, it's hard to really blame him for that. You can't really blame him for that. But whenever you want to, extend yourself and improve the team and go for titles, you can't have players who are constantly getting injured. You can't have that because it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're not eligible to play, it doesn't matter if you're Messi. If you're injured half the season, you're not going to have a good impact on the team. And I think Luke Shaw, when he is fit and when he is playing well, is one of the best fullbacks in the world. That is generally my opinion. But when do we ever see that? How often is it that we ever see Luke Shaw at his best? He has had some unfortunate injuries, as I say, but when was the last time we saw him at his best? When? I can't remember. I really, really can't. So for me, I think Reguilón will be a decent signing to bring in, especially as he'd probably be cheap because Real Madrid are looking to sell. So we probably wouldn't have to pay too much for him. And even if he didn't start, I think as someone as a kind of even just someone to playing behind Shaw, someone who even if Shaw was the main guy and then Reguilón was to come in, I think that wouldn't be a bad purchase because as we've said, squad depth is so key when you're going for the big trophies. So yeah, for me, I think Reguilón will be a decent signing. I know a few of you guys in the comments are saying it'd be a very, very good signing. Man like Mo, this is about the season, is saying we'll with those three signings we said, Sancho, Sergio Reguilón, and a centre back that will challenge for the league, but we won't win it. And to be honest with you, I would agree with that. I think in terms of challenging for the league, I think if we make a few signings, if we make a few more signings we already have, I think we should be looking to at least get up there amongst those top three. I think with the money we've spent, especially you look at the likes of Chelsea. Obviously, they're going to be thereabouts. Arsenal seem to be, making a few decent signings. You got, Spurs as well. I mean, it's going to be an absolutely cracking season. The quality in the Premier League is just going up and up and up right now. So for the neutral, it's going to be a very, very good season, I reckon. But for a Man United fan who's only seen Van der Beek through the door, it's not the best sight seeing Chelsea sign Havertz and Ziyech and all them lot. But we'll see how the season pans out, of course. But as I said, guys, keep letting us know your thoughts on what we say in the live chat. And also, if you're watching the video, in the comment section below. And make sure you check out Daz's football stand. His link is in the comment section below, I should say. Make sure you check out all his videos. He had a vlog up just before this video went up. So make sure you do check that out if you like that sort of thing. And I'm sure you will. Mo says, yeah, exactly. If you like your non-league football and you like to watch the vlog footage, Daryl's your man. Daryl is your man. Man like Mo says, need better fullbacks to win the league. And I think in terms of Luke Shaw, I would agree. I think Wan-Bissaka, in terms of defensively, I think Wan-Bissaka is one of the best fullbacks in the world. I think if Wan-Bissaka could improve his game going forward, he would be one of the best fullbacks in the world, I think. But as of right now, he's one of the best defensive fullbacks. But going forward, he's not great. He looks at Bambi. He's like Bambi on ice. You know what I mean? When he goes forward doing those step overs. But yeah, I'll ask you about that then. So Mo here says better fullbacks plural. Suggesting that maybe Wan-Bissaka isn't good enough. Do you think Wan-Bissaka is good enough to win a title for Manchester United?
Well, it's a tough question actually, because we can't be relying on individuals getting us anywhere, because it has to be a full team performance at the end of the day.
Cool.
And Wan-Bissaka is a quality player, and yes, I mean, if we keep him in the team, then yes, we could challenge. I don't think it's just fullbacks that we need to worry about. I'm mostly worried about our central defence. Lindelof, I don't think, had an amazing season, to be honest. Obviously, Harry Maguire, still stuff going on about him. I'm still not 100% certain whether he's allowed to play for United or not, but I'm assuming he is allowed to. But no, I agree with what Mo said. We need sign another central defender. I think it's mostly the defence we really need to work on. I think attacking wise, we're fine. Obviously, Sancho would be ideal. Then again, at the same time, I did mention before that I'm not sure whether he'll do it in the Premier League. And of course, you've got a lot of players to really think about. And for me, the defence is what really needs, freshening up, really, because I'm not at all confident. As I said, the midfield, and obviously, if Thiago does come in, then I think midfield is fine. Got a solid midfield. Attacking wise, I think we're okay. It's just about really getting the chances, doing enough in the final third, and then obviously taking them. And then the defence really is the downfall, really, because our defence let us down many times, especially the Europa League semis. Well, that was really the Brandon Williams and Harry Maguire crap show, that, really. But that's in the past now. We forget about that and we focus on what's coming up now. So, yeah, I do think we need another central defender. I'd say FC bringing Willian on. I'd like another fullback, not another fullback, another right back, sorry. Same thing. I'd like another right back, obviously, maybe as a backup in case Wan-Bissaka gets injured. So I don't think Diego Dalot is good enough, really. So we never see him play. He never gets started, really. And if he goes, who do we have left for right back? Practically nobody. So unless Brandon Williams starts playing at right back, then but
true.
I'd like another right back, and obviously we need one or two players to sign really on the wide. Sorry.
Yeah, I see what you mean with the backup fullback for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because I think there's a lot of people who do say Dalot is good enough to be that backup fullback, and for me, I think going forward, Dalot is decent, but defensively, he's nowhere near the quality of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, in my opinion. I think if Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka could were mixed together, that would be the perfect fullback for Manchester United. But unfortunately, one of them's only good at defending and one of them's only good at going forward, which is unfortunate because if they could have, they would be the perfect right back combination. But unfortunately, we can't have that. But for me, I think Dalot, even though he's better going forward, because let's not forget, Dalot is a winger by trade. He was actually brought in as a winger. He's been converted to a fullback, similar to what Antonio Valencia had when he first came to Manchester United. So he is someone who's decent going forward. We saw that against PSG and even against Tranmere away from home. He scored that brilliant goal where he kind of did a bit of a Ronaldo chop, cut into his right foot and pinged it into the far corner. I thought that is quality. He showed a lot of signs of quality, but in terms of defensively, I don't think Dalot has what it takes right now to be a top defensive fullback in the league and have us challenge for the title. I don't think we have that. I think potentially in the future. But I think you're right. In terms of depth, pretty well most positions on the pitch, we could definitely use some backup options. And you mentioned the centre back there. Obviously, the Upamecano rumours seem to be completely in the dust. I don't think anything's going to happen with Upamecano unless suddenly we table some dramatic bid, but I don't think that's going to happen realistically.
I'm surprised he's leaving Leipzig if that happens.
True, yeah. That's the thing. He obviously signed his contract recently. Yeah, he signed his contract, in like June, didn't he? So I don't think he's going anywhere unless a ridiculous offer comes in for him and Leipzig want to let him go. But I think he's probably going to stay there till next season. Then I think next season he'll probably leave to bigger and better things, maybe even Bayern Munich. Who knows? Who knows what the situation is with that? But finally, I think we're going to talk about Jadon Sancho. We always have to talk about Jadon Sancho when we're talking transfers here. And to be fair, the rumours about Jadon Sancho, by the way, welcome Manish as well. Thanks for joining. I forgot to read out your comment. He seems confident we are going to sign Sergio Reguilón. So hopefully you're right, mate, because I'd love to bring him in. Thanks for joining.
Good.
But for me, Jadon Sancho is a saga. There's always one transfer saga that goes on for the length of the transfer window, just goes on for ages and ages. And this is one of them. And reports seem to be, steadily increasing in speed. This deal seems to be starting to move along a little bit. If the rumors on social media are true, you have a few people on Twitter, a few sources coming out saying that the fee is actually not the issue. It's just the agent's fees and things like that. A few people saying that the deal could be done by the end of next week. So who knows about that? Obviously,
how
people
many times have we heard that?
Exactly. I was just about to say, Dal. I was just about to say how many. I'm pretty sure there was a time where people were saying, "Oh, it's going to be done by end of this week. By end of this week, we're going to know whether he's coming or not."
7th of August was what somebody said, and we're now into the start of September. So
ridiculous. I know. That's just the Man United transfer window summed up, to be honest with you. But yeah, the Jadon Sancho rumours. Obviously, you've spoken about Jadon Sancho on not only on this channel, but on various other channels, and probably on your own channel as well.
I just on this one, actually.
Oh, well, there you go. A bit of an exclusive then. But in terms of Jadon Sancho, we're now about a month down the line since we last really talked about him seriously. At this point in the transfer window and as close as we are to the season, do you see this deal happening?
Non-United, probably not. Because they don't get... When you get deals that go on for how long, they don't seem to get them done. Bruno Fernandes was meant to sign, I believe, summer last year.
Yeah.
That's what we were told. They didn't get that deal done. And how many other players it took? It's took ages to get a few players in. Bring forward, obviously, Donny van de Beek. I'm not going to lie, really, it came out of the blue, really, for me. I didn't expect it to be done that quickly. because knowing the ball, they're about as fast as snails, really, aren't they? I mean, I could probably complete a negotiation faster than them, and I'm not even qualified. So, but it's really, I think, down to Sancho. Obviously, with the wages, I don't know. I mean, he might be looking for something, I don't know, probably like something like that, because players are like getting overpaid these days.
Of course.
So, it's really all about the wages and stuff, and that sometimes, is the problem. I'm surprised that they're actually going to pay the 120 million, because I think that's a rip-off. I do think at the most 60, 70 million, which is half of the actual amount. But you know what, Dortmund, they're the second best team. If anyone says that they're the best team in Germany, you're totally wrong. They're the second best team in Germany at the minute, because obviously they haven't won anything this season, as Bayern won it all. But
had
there
to get
you
that
go.
one in there. Had to get that in there.
Had to get it in, didn't I? Yes. But 120 million for a player who has only been in the Bundesliga one season and came, I think, from the Chelsea Academy. Was it Chelsea Academy or was it Man City?
Man City Academy, I think.
Yeah, academies. Cool. But I think if Sancho just does join, I said before, will he do it in the Premier League? We won't know, actually, because I don't think I've ever seen him play in the Premier League. But when it comes to playing against the big four, the big six teams, obviously in the Premier League, because obviously he'll probably be used to playing against them, obviously in Champions League, and he's got Champions League experience. He scored at the Nou Camp. He scored low. He scored. He's a brilliant talent in Bundesliga. Obviously, I think he obviously played against Iceland today, didn't he? And I didn't think he was too bad. So some positive signs. He's actually, he's in the international teams, so he could be. He is capable. It's whether he'll do it. That's the thing. That's the question that lives long. Really, it's that ongoing question: is he good enough? Will he do this? Will he score goals? Will he set up chances? We'll soon see. Really.
I mean, you look at him, and you look at obviously our last signing from Dortmund, Henrik Mkhitaryan. Now he was the German Player of the Year. He was the Player of the Year, and obviously, we brought him in, and he did all right to start with in the league, but really didn't hit it off at Manchester United. His career never really lifted off. And I think we paid nowhere near what we're going to pay Jadon Sancho if we are to bring him in. So, mate, is that a little bit of a worrying sign that obviously someone like Henrik Mkhitaryan didn't make it in the Premier League, came from the same league, played for the same team? Is that a bit of a warning sign for United, or do you think there's they're two different set of circumstances?
Well, for starters, the Mkhitaryan international level only plays for Armenia, and they're not a particularly good team. No disrespect, but they're not a good team. Probably about San Marino's level, really. And but Mkhitaryan in the Bundesliga was a good player, and obviously, as you said, he got the DFB Player of the Year. And obviously, Jadon Sancho didn't get the Player of the Year because Lewandowski got it. Well, Lewandowski got the Player of the Season, actually, I think. Obviously, with the 55 goals. So we'll be signing a player who didn't get Player of the Year or Player of the Season, but is a talented young lad. And I think that's something United need to do. I think what United tend to do is they tend to always invest in the old bag. Sorry, nearly said the wrong word. They always seem to invest in all the old sods, really, And I think United should be investing in the youth players. And obviously, you got Dijon Bernard. He's, I think, an academy player. If I'm not mistaken. You start playing him maybe in some of the cup games, and obviously you won't be able to play him in Champions League games unless you're against, someone like Lokomotiv Moscow, who realistically you can beat. But we want to see some of the younger players have a chance. I just think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer he seems to pick the players that he likes, and obviously me being but as season they get older as well, I've seen Neil Warnock said that if you don't perform in training, you're not going to get into the squad, and that's something that Ollie needs to do. He seems to pick the players he wants to play instead of going for the players who do well in training and actually perform. So I think what he needs to do, he needs to be a bit more sterner this season, especially with the Champions League games, because we could be against anyone really. Could even be against Bayern, which would be the worst possible scenario for me. But
could be, mate. Could be.
With the teams like that, you can't be just picking players willy-nilly. I would be saying, if you don't perform well here, you're not in the team on Saturday or whenever. So he needs to be more sterner in training. And the people who perform well get into the first team, and the people who don't are bench warmers. So,
yeah,
I just think he's too lenient sometimes.
I was going to say, I think a more ruthless approach from Solskjaer would be welcomed by a lot of fans. I think a lot of people do like the fact that he's nice, but sometimes, there is a line between being, nice and being too nice. And I feel like sometimes with Solskjaer, you'll see him in post-match press conferences, and he never seems angry, which some people say maybe just is he never loses temper, which is a good thing. But at the same time, as you said, as Neil Warnock, school of Neil Warnock, you've got to be performing every single day. You've got to be dedicated every single day. And it's about playing the players that, are going to perform on the pitch and not picking, as you said, who you want. But hopefully, and I'm seeing progression. I'm seeing a plan from Solskjaer and a vision. So hopefully he's being ruthless in making sure that he's only got players who want to play for him on that in the teams in the future. Akil, thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. He says Sancho knows the league. He's an English player. He's played in the Champions League, has performed consistently. Anyone can flop in the Premier League. Let's hope he doesn't. Yeah, I agree that obviously playing for Manchester City in the youth setup, he'll be used to somewhat English football. He'll be somewhat used to English football, I should say. And obviously he knows the environment. It's his home country. So that is obviously something which will hopefully help him hit the ground running if he was to join Manchester United. At the same time, he hasn't played in the Premier League for quite some time, and hasn't actually played a Premier League game, which is kind of weird to say when you look at an English player that came through a Premier League academy, to say that he hasn't played a Premier League game yet. But, that's the way it is. But I think, the Premier League is a weird league because we often say that it's difficult for foreign players to come into the league, or players from foreign clubs to come into the league and hit it off straight away. But if you look at someone like Bruno Fernandes, he's come in and absolutely torn it up and absolutely superb. And he never played a game of Premier League football before this as well. So, yeah, I think it's a valid comment, Akil. It's a valid comment, definitely. But who knows what Jadon Sancho is going to do. For that sort of money, you'd hope he'd hit the ground running, but you can never guarantee that. You can never guarantee that with a player. But Daryl, mate, I'm probably going to end it there. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. Today we've talked about Sancho, Reguilon and Thiago, and I'm sure in the next few days there'll be an influx of Man United transfer rumours, as they usually are towards the end of the transfer window. So I'll be covering that on this channel, and I'm sure Daryl as well on his own channel will be creating some fantastic content, either to do with Man United, Bayern Munich, or even England, or even Germany as well.
Whatever, really. Whatever.
Exactly. A multitude of stuff that you guys should definitely check out, and his link is in the description down below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel.
The draw for United, I think, is tomorrow for the Carabao Cup.
Oh,
Carabao Cup draws tomorrow. But they're doing... Going to be confusing because they're doing round 2. So they're doing the round 2 draw in the northern and southern section. And then straight after they've done that, they're doing the round 3. And it's going to be like something like Manchester United versus winner of match 4, match 10 versus match 7. It's going to be confusing. Hence why, I haven't got the ball numbers sent. I'm not doing the draw predictions because I won't have enough time. And it's too confusing. So.
I know what you mean. But there you go. I didn't even know Man United were in a draw tomorrow, but apparently we are. So look forward to that. But Daryl, mate, I think yeah. Well, to be fair, I never really paid too much attention to the Carabao Cup third round at least, but you never know. You could get a decent side. You just never know. But yeah, Daryl, mate, thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it. Make sure you check him out in the description down below, as I said. And thank you for watching. If you have been watching all the way through, thank you very much. If you're watching this as a video, make sure you get your thoughts in the comment section below as well. We want to hear what you guys have to say and what we've said about all the transfer news and stuff regarding Manchester United. But guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you aren't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out Daryl in the comment section below. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next